Hey, what's good everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Orphe, and today I'm going to take you behind the scenes on how I shot these images. I'm also going to show you the inspiration behind the shoot. Why did I choose to lit the scene like this, and how I was able to retouch those images in Photoshop. Once again, welcome back to my channel. My name is Orphe. I'm a fashion and commercial photographer. If you're brand new to this channel, please make sure to like and subscribe because I help a lot of photographers like yourself to improve their work. Before analyzing the photo, let me talk to you real quick about this shoot. What was the inspiration? This is Ivy. Ivy is a model based in Montreal. And my makeup artist for the shoot was Julian. Julian also is a great makeup artist based in Montreal. I had a mood board in mind. It was something very bright, very airy, but also with no shadow, but a lot of diffusion. So my goal was to try to lit the scene to make sure that these images look very clean, but also bright. This image was the main image that I sent to Ivy. This is what I wanted to reproduce. I had this one, I had 4 images. But as you can see, the light is very soft. And as you can see, there's not a lot of shadows. But you gotta remember this. The goal is not always to reproduce the photo exactly the same, but you still have a general idea of where you wanna go and how to achieve it. When I looked at a mood board, I knew that I could do it with just one light, because if you know me, I try to shoot with one light as much as possible. This was shot on a white backdrop, and when I look at the reflection in her eyes, I see that there is a big soft diffusion, and this could have been like a big reflector and also a window. But I knew that diffusion was made to achieve this photo. When I look at the side of the image here, there's also some bounce lighting that were done, but that might be probably another light that was added on the side of her face, or simply the light bouncing off either the wall or the backdrop. So for me, I knew that I wanted just one light to achieve it, and the goal was to shoot it on a white wall. As you're gonna see, my lighting was very simple. I shot this with a Canon R5 and the 24-105mm lens. I was able to move between 24mm or 105mm. Gave me a lot of flexibility when it came to shooting different angles or different proximity. Ivy brought different jackets. I knew that I wanted to shoot under the same lighting, so it was easier for us to just switch between different outfits and get the same consistency in terms of lighting. We were in a big room with white walls and a white ceiling and big windows. I could have just shot it with just the windows, but I think for consistency, especially since the weather in Montreal wasn't that stable, I didn't want to have shifts of lighting in my images. So what I decided to do, I took one light, put it in the center of the room, set it up on a stand, and shot it bare bulb. So my light was aiming at the opposite wall, the wall behind me, because what I wanted to do is just bounce the light off the ceiling and the wall, and the light to come back on the model, which created a very diffused light, as you can see here. Now let me take you to Photoshop to show you my editing process. So this was the photo straight out of Capture One. I'm gonna show you how we went from this to this. The first layer here, as you can see, was my blemishes removal and some of the imperfection on the hair. This is before and after. And then I went for skin smoothing. Sometimes I add the background layer to just bring back the texture, but this is not what I wanted to do for this particular image. So on the next layer, I added an adjustment layer, which was the black and white layer, and I changed the opacity to soft light and played with my current layer. That's how I was able to get from this to this. So as you can see, it adds a little bit of contrast. And now on the outer layer, what I did, I added another layer with the same combination as if I just double the thing, because I wanted something deeper. I could have done it differently, but this is the method that I used for this particular image. Once again, I added a third time the same thing, but for this time I decided to reduce the opacity. And the reason why I'm doing this and to be subtle with those adjustments, it was also to control how much intensity or density that I wanted on the image. On the other layer, I went with my dodge and burn to make sure that some of the contrast and some of the imperfections were removed. As you can see, this is the before and this is the after. And I'm going to bring it like this, before and after. This layer right here is the sharpness. I wanted to sharpen the eyebrows, and as you can see, before and after. Now, and also the eyes a little bit. As you can see right here, the eyes a little bit, because I felt like it wasn't very sharp. And what I usually do is I add noise. If you want to watch my full video on how I add noise, you can please click right here on top. And then I decided to bring the color into the jacket because I felt like the purple on this wasn't exactly the way it was on set, but I also wanted to make sure that the color was popping. And on the other layer with the saturation, I also targeted, I targeted the magenta. I'm gonna go on magenta, and I added a little bit of saturation and shifted a little bit my colors here. For the next layer, I felt like this part was a little bit too dark, so I decided to brush a little bit by using the curve layer and switch my blending mode to screen to make sure that it adds at least one step of exposure, and I paint it over on the mask. All right, guys, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe. If you have any questions, write them in the comment. You already know what time it is. It's your boy Orphe the Meat Baby. I'm out. Cheers.